May, I ended up getting kicked out of my house and like moving up to Lincoln because that's where college was.
Do you want to tell us why you were kicked out of your house?
It was just like unresolved family problems for ages, and like the age that I was at 18, like most people who move off to uni, I just really needed space and stuff. Because I was out in the middle of nowhere, like just staying at home with mum, and we're just grinding against each other and stuff.
I was in care when I was younger, and when you're 16 you get passed on to leaving care, but leaving care don't provide accommodation. All they are there for is to basically help you find accommodation. So they will provide you with B&B until you're 18, but in that time you have to find your own accommodation. And if you don't, or you're not in education and employment, you won't stay with leaving care, you'll leave when you're 18, where some people can stay till they're 21, so they get some support. So I ended up being in a few B&Bs and then basically left to fend myself.
Well, I came up and on my first day, like, I went to a few of the supported housing agency places, and they said they didn't have like emergency accommodation, and so I'd have to go to this church place where they'd sort me out getting me into the Nomad shelter.
We started about 25 years ago in all essence. This wasn't the first place that we bought. We actually bought the cafe down on Free School Lane in Lincoln, where we used to serve teas and coffees for those that were less fortunate in our community. But it was very clear at that point that we needed to do something a little bit more to help our homeless friends that are out on the streets on a night by night basis.
Yes, I was in Nomad for about 2 years. Well, my experiences, it wasn't very good because then there wasn't many beds, so it was a first come first serve, where the service is a lot better now because more people can be accepted.
As you can see, we can sleep 6 individuals in that. We wouldn't if it wasn't for our bunk beds. We did have lots of question and answers whether we thought bunk beds would be the right thing for the Nomad Trust, but actually it came down to we could get more people into the building. So although it's not ideal, it's important that we get as many people in each night as we possibly can. The last thing we want is people to stay out on the streets. We want them in and safe.
There seemed to be like underlying like theme of drugs. Like a lot of them, you could tell, or just from what they were saying, that they did a lot of drugs, and that was kind of probably the reason they were in there.
I felt like I didn't really have much left in my life. So you turn on to something to hide them problems, but then you get addicted, and then it's hard to get off, and so then it's even harder to get the support. So yeah, you do fall into it a lot being homeless, because you're around it a lot more, and you don't really choose where to stay, so anywhere would be good enough. And if that place is like a drug place, then it's still a roof over your head, it's still better than sleeping in an alleyway, do you know what I mean? So people fall for it.
The typical stereotype is those with drug and alcohol issues. Well, they're only about 20% of what we do. I have to say, prison leavers, people coming from hospitals with no fixed abode, they account for more, sort of 22% of the people that we get are from prison or from hospital. So, you know, without anywhere to go, we want to care for them.
just feeling quite scared. Like I wouldn't say I'd lived a sheltered life, but yeah, you don't really like understand like just how like just grim it is, like the situation, until you're experiencing it firsthand.
It was scary most nights because obviously sleeping on the streets there's different people. It's like Saturday and Friday nights, there's quite a lot of people around. My mum was sat begging under the stone boat one day, and as two people walked past her and she asked for a bit of change, both of them turned around and spat in her face, and then was threatening her quite abusively. But yeah, people did used to be quite abusive, walk past us, spit at us, tell us to go and get a proper job. It used to be quite horrible at times. My stepbrother and my dad's been assaulted quite a few times on the street, so can get bad at times.
How do we pay for stuff? So we get the benefits sorted out. In some cases, they're not able to work. So it's getting ESA or DLA as a benefit. That process can take 6 to 8 weeks. So the sooner we get it started, the better.
And being in the Nomads every night and then having my last place and losing that again and realising like my life was just going nowhere. I just woke up one day and was like, sod it. I went to Ed Action, I got put on a Subutex script, got myself clean, came here, got myself an interview here, because Nomads kept telling me they was putting like referrals in here for me, and I kept being refused. So I came and put a referral in here myself, and within a week I was accepted.
At Harvest Festival time and at Christmas time, we look to our schools and churches to give as much as possibly can. And this is the result, being able to give to us, to then be able to feed the homeless guys. And a lot of this food, it looks a lot, I know, but actually it's got to last the whole year. And when you're feeding 21 individuals 2 times a day, it's a lot of food. Also got a charity shop as well, which deals with all the knickknacks and all the food donations that we get in, because quite frankly, without those donations, we couldn't do what we do.
We've obviously been in Lincoln quite a while, and we walk around a lot, and we always see the homeless people out and about, and we kind of thought like, well, what can we do to help these people? And that's when we discovered the Nomad Trust. Took time to explain to people what we're doing. Everyone was quite eager to join in. We were worried we were going to get quite wet tonight because it was due some rain, but no, we're just going to see what happens. Well, we were saying because we had to go on a toilet mission because everywhere was shut quite late, and it's just like, it's quite vulnerable because you hear people walking past and you don't quite know where they are, you know, and you just imagine that when you walk, I know if I'm walking down the street and there's somebody trying to get some kip, I'm going to try and walk as far away as possible, because hearing people walk past, it's like, are they coming over? Are they going to take our money? You realise how vulnerable you were, that at the end of the day anything could have happened.
If we didn't know that we had the security, especially when like the people who've been drinking came up, then I would have felt quite vulnerable, quite intimidated. So for people who don't have that,
so people who haven't got such a controlled environment that we've got, even though we're sleeping rough, we've got all the support of the university and the security team.
Being here, it's been quite fair. Staff have not let me get away with things, but like understood me a little bit more from the stuff I've been through, so has worked with me, and it's the first place that's lasted in the whole time. It's been my longest place.
I'm currently like in my second year of college now, like doing performance music. I'm 19. I live in the lovely city of Lincoln.
I call it divine intervention. Someone upstairs was looking after me when they said, I don't want to work any more than 30 hours a week, and the Nomad cropped up because I love my job. Working for the Nomad is, I call them warm fuzzy feelings. When I go home at night, I've got a warm fuzzy feeling right in the centre of my chest, because I know I've helped somebody. Not everybody, but if I can help most of the people, most of the time, I'm doing something right.